That one went a little too long there, buddy.
Yeah, I was pulling it as I was talking.
Okay.
But yeah, wasting my life away sleeping.
Well, sometimes you need that. So I'm glad you're feeling better. You're kicking out. Oh my God, stop.
I'm trying to get it stopped.
Killing me.
Sorry.
I had a pretty good weekend.
Actually, how was it out in Indiana?
Actually, I had a great weekend. I want to give a big shout out to Scott Hewlett and his crew, Heated Shenanigans, their podcast. Go over and listen if you haven't. Really fun. It was myself, it was Hack, it was Shane, Douglas, and Fonzie. And
what a group.
Every Child Wins. Yeah, what a group, right? It was that benefit show from Muscular Dystrophy Association. And man, we had such a fun time. Let me just tell you something. Hack bitches from the moment I book him until we land. Once that plane lands, he's good to go. But he will complain every single minute until we finally get to where we need to be. And, this weekend was no exception. So I had to listen to him bitch at the airport. I had to listen to him bitch on the plane. Had to listen to him bitch in the car driving to the hotel. But then once we got there and saw Fonzie and everything and Shane showed up, it was a good time. So we had a lot of fun. And shout out to Longhorn Steakhouse, if I may.
Oh, one of my favorites.
So we were after the show, we were hungry and we had left a little bit early. The show was still going on. And we said, let's go get a steak, right? So me, Fonzie, and Shane drop Hack off because he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Just take me to my room. Right? So we had to drop him off because he's a big grump. And we had to bring him back food. And so we go to Longhorn because it was like the first steakhouse we saw that was like, driving distance or whatever. And we go inside and like everybody in the front's just smiling at us, right? All the workers are sitting there smiling. So we're like, okay, do they recognize us? Do they not? I don't know, but they didn't say anything. So they sit us down. A young couple walk in and I see the guy looking. And he's looking and he's walking by our table. And I thought his neck was going to break because he's looking. And he finally walks over and he's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, I'm still in my gimmick outfit, by the way, which was a trip. He was very gracious and he's just like, thank you for all the years of entertainment you gave me. I watched you guys religiously. I love you guys, blah, blah, blah. And he's going on and on. So we shake his hand or whatever. So Fonzie goes, I'm going to run outside, Daddy, and get him some 8x10s. So we had no Sharpie. So as Fonzie runs outside, I say to the kid, did you go to the gentleman, did you go to the show? And he was like, no, I'm here with my girlfriend. We're celebrating our 6-month anniversary. We're just here to eat a meal and hang out or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. So they go and sit down. Meanwhile, Fonzie comes in. He didn't have a Sharpie, so he couldn't sign the pictures. So he gives them these pictures without a signature.
There's a keepsake.
We could have asked for a pen or something, but we had no Sharpie. In the meanwhile, Shane goes, oh, it's their anniversary. Let's send them. Oh, we were going to buy them a drink. And the guy goes, we don't drink. So we were like, oh, okay. So then he sits down. So Shane goes, I'm going to send them over a cake. And I go, a whole cake? Because, yeah, they're going to write happy anniversary on a cake. So we did. Sent it to their table. And we ate our food and stuff and everything was fine. And the bill comes and the waitress is like, the manager said, just pay this and he'll come over and talk to you about it. So we look at the bill and it was like 4 times less than it should have been. It was like things were minus this, minus that. And we're like, well, he didn't seem to know who we were when we walked in, and Fonzie says to the lady, hey, what's going on? And she goes, something about wrestling. And so she had no clue who we are. But then when the manager came over, he goes, I knew you guys as soon as you walked in the front door. I knew exactly who the 3 of you were. We were like, oh, and he's like, I tried to help you out as much as I could. So he ended up, deducting some stuff off the bill or whatever. So we take pictures with the one table, and then we turn around, the staff is standing there. So we run and we take pictures with the staff. And then we left. So it was fun because like that doesn't happen very often, but these guys knew like exactly who we were. I don't know if it was my gimmick outfit that put us over the top. Maybe Fonzie's ECW.
That's great.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. So we had a good meal, cheap meal, but a good meal. And the show was really fun. I'm trying to think. We signed for a couple hours, and then Shane and I went out and opened the show. And it's a new company, so they didn't crown a champion yet, but they have a brand new shiny belt. So I got to carry the belt to the ring, and Shane cut a promo, which was nice. And, just got the fans hyped up for the show. The funny part is we go right from the ring, we go to the gimmick table, right? First of all, Shane goes the wrong way, and I'm going this way. He's going through the crowd the wrong way. I had to direct him back to the gimmick table. We sit down, Hack's with us. And I'm like, do you know your spot? And he goes, I have no clue what's going on. He goes, all I'm going to do is listen for my music. And I go, do you know what you have to do? Do you know who the baby face and the heel are? Are you going to cane the wrong person? He's like, I don't care. Right. His music comes on and he goes like, he's sitting with all, we're just talking, the music hits. He goes, throws his hand up in there. Nah. He goes, I'm not going. And I'm like, dude, get up and go to the ring. You have to go. And he's like, I don't want to. I was like, you have to. So finally, reluctantly, he gets up and he's like, record this. So I follow him to the ring with my phone and I'm recording everything. He pretends to fall. He doesn't, he was dancing like Trump when Trump goes like this, and those he's doing like a dance. Oh my God, it was hilarious. Then I thought he was caning the baby face, but he picked the right guy and he did cane the heel. But we were just making light of things. It was just a good time and had fun like always, And then I was exhausted and I said, I'm going to go to bed early. And what happened? Somebody's lighting fireworks right outside my hotel window. I wanted to.
I was dying to hear about this.
No, it's just annoying. Every time I tried to close my eyes, there go the fireworks. So I just start texting with Lou D'Angeli, and I'm like, I'm laying here, and there's like fire. He's like, just talk to me if you're going to stay up. So me and him were talking for like 30 minutes. I was like, dude, I need to get some sleep. I have to wake up early. I got to catch my flight. But I guess they're practicing for 4th of July. And I didn't know Indiana was the firework capital of the world, apparently. I don't know. That's what somebody on
Twitter.
Is
it really?
I don't know. That's the dude on Twitter says, you are in the fireworks capital of the world. And I was like, am I? Juliet, Louisiana? Indiana is the fireworks capital of the world? Maybe.
I was not aware of that.
I don't know. But I said, if I call the front desk, do you think they'll go outside and heal those people? And I said, probably not. So I didn't even
So
call.
was it like elaborate fireworks that were going off?
Yeah. Like the big ones in the sky. Like not like a sparkler. These were I looked out my window. The guy standing over a sparkler. He was literally, I seen the guy bend over and then he'd run away and then
So like the ones that like pop and then pop one in like one within one within
seeing Disney World, only there weren't 20,000 of them. He was doing one at a time.
That's
so he would do one off and then it would explode in the sky. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's done. No, give him 30 seconds. Then he'd run back and he'd lean over and I saw him and he'd put it on the ground and then it would explode. And he kept doing that for like a half hour. And I'm like, I'm so tired. But every time I tried to close my eyes, it was so loud because it was right outside my window. So it was scaring the shit out of me. Every time I tried to sleep, it woke me up. And that just lasted till like 11:30. I was like, dude, unacceptable. Don't you know who I am?
That's when they're just getting started.
Yeah, well, guess what? I hate it. Oh my God. I love our country. I'm very patriotic, but the fireworks have to go.
Yeah, I'm all in on the fireworks this year. I've been buying them like crazy. Every time I go, so you can buy them like they call them like family-friendly fireworks here, but you can go to any kind of like supermarket or Walmart or Target or any Walgreens, and you can buy like safe, family-friendly fireworks. And I buy them every time I go now.
What's the difference between family friendly and the other ones?
That they're contained, right? They don't shoot up in the air. They're more like, they shoot up and they're just like out of a box, right? They're the kids love them. They turn different colors.
They
Great.
don't go way high in the sky?
You can. I mean, we have the stands in every shopping center that say fireworks across the top, and you can buy the ones that shoot in the sky. I'm just not going to do that because I'm going to end up like that guy from the New York Giants a couple years ago that blew his hand off. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
How high do family-friendly fireworks?
These go, I mean, it depends on which ones you get. The ones I'm getting this year, they look like they can go pretty high, but they don't like shoot up. They just so they'll come in like a box, right?
Yeah.
And you light the fuse on the box, and then like the fireworks stream will like come out of the box and like just shoot up not like shoot into the sky, but like come out as like a stream coming out of the box.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Take a video because
I will. I'll send you one. I have one on my phone.
I don't see how these are different than regular fireworks, but
I dabble. I started to dabble in it last year, and because I was always kind of against it because where I grew up, everything was illegal. You couldn't have any kind of firework related anything in New Jersey. And now they're like, no, whatever you want. So every time I go to like Walmart, I keep buying them. So this year on July 4th. We're having a freaking party, and I don't mean like a party, huh?
In the backyard?
No, I'm doing it right in the front. I'm doing it right on the driveway.
Oh, obnoxious neighbor!
Oh, it's gonna be
great. My neighbor, I would kill you.
I'm gonna send it to you. It's a quick little video.
Those dogs are gonna go crazy in your neighborhood.
And this thing too. This is the little one. This one I sent you now is the little guy. That these things you buy them, they could be $4.99 or $6.99, or the packs I'm buying are like $45 or $50, where you get like 15 or 20 of them.
That's a sparkler, bro.
No, they're bigger ones. There's bigger ones. That's a little guy.
This is like a sparkler. Okay,
that might be the little sparkler, but I got the bigger ones, that are like the TNT, whatever the frig they call them, but yeah, we're gonna have a nice little party this year.
Okay.
I got
the party I wasn't invited to, by the way. Thank you.
No, it's just the four of us. We're not having really anything. I got Whimsy the Unicorn this year.
What's that?
I don't know. I bought it. It's Whimsy the Unicorn.
Oh, for the sparkler? For the firework?
Whatever it is, it's called Whimsy the Unicorn.
Hey, man. Okay, well, knock your socks off. I will be in bed and being woken up 2 hours later at midnight when they start to go off, and I will say a bunch of curse words and roll over and go back to sleep. Happy 4th of July, everyone. That's it. Sounds fun.
Cranky lady there.
I just don't like being woken up. I don't like it. That's me on New Year's Eve too. Before I used to do the Sign by Superstars thing when I was in bed by 10. You hear the fireworks go off, and I get so hot. I'm like, really? I'm so cranky.
Not anymore. Now it's a New Year's Eve is big night.
Now I'm up and partying, but before I was not. So
I will be drinking on July 4th though. That's the first time I'll have had a drink in about a month or so. Been dry. I'm going dry for July 4th.
So I drank this weekend, and it wasn't good. I didn't throw up. I didn't Fireball. Didn't throw up or anything. So every time we go somewhere, Hack has this. We have to stop at a liquor store even before we go to the hotel. It's like his thing. Like, where's the liquor store? Get in the car. Where's the liquor store? So they always say to me, "Do you want anything?" And I'm just like, "No, I'm good." He bought me a 12-pack, and I didn't drink the whole thing. A 12-pack of the mini Fireballs.
Right.
Yeah, I drank 6 of them.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's 6.
That wasn't good. So I had the spins. I didn't feel good. I woke up the next morning and I was just like, oh, I feel like death. Like I literally feel like death. And then Shane got in. He didn't get in until 3 a.m.
Oh, wow.
He had to drive because he had a show, and then he had to drive like 6 hours or so. It was ridiculous. I felt so bad for him. I was on the phone with him. When I got back to my room, it was literally 11:30 on that Friday night because we had to go to like this sponsor was this bar, And we went and we had a couple drinks there. And then me, Fonzie, and Hack, we hung out and just talked and had a couple drinks there. And I was like, dudes, I'm tired. I want to go back to my room, because then I was starting to feel it. And I was talking to Shane as he was driving. And so he got in at 3. He told me, text me at 8 and make sure I'm up and we'll go get breakfast. Well, I woke up at 8:30 after waking up at 1:30, 3, 4:15, 7, like with the spins and having to pee and all that stuff. Finally got up at 8:30, and we ended up going downstairs and then going to Starbucks. So the coffee really helped me.
Well, that's good.
I drank a cup of coffee and I was like, oh, I feel good. I feel better. And then then we went over to the show. And then Saturday night, I said, I'm not going to drink. But then at dinner time, they had sangria. So I said, I'll have 1 glass of wine. And that was it. Well, it was a goblet. It was the biggest glass. And I don't know if the manager did that because of who we are, or if that is the normal glass that it comes in. It was like this. Look at my hands. This big.
That's pretty big.
Full of sangria. It was like $10. And it was so good too. And I wanted another one, and I said, no more. I was a pig last night. I'm not going to do it tonight. I don't drink at home. I only drink on the road for some reason. I rarely drink here, and I had my fill. So I was like, I'm not drinking till Atlantic City.
Nice.
And I'll have a cocktail there. So
they Smirnoff put the screwdriver that I like. They put him from the can into a bottle now. The bottle's better. So yeah, so I have a bunch of those saved up that I've been waiting to dig into. So
those look good. Hubs and I, when we went on vacation, his uncle, he has like a bar in his house, and he was like, come over here. And we go over there, and he gave us shots of, do you remember as a kid the red, white, and blue popsicles from the
yeah.
They have it in vodka.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. That was good. And we both had like a shot. We looked at each other, we were like, oh, we should get this for the house. Cause like I said, we don't really drink here. But those were really good. And I was like, one night we could like watch a movie and just sip on a glass of these pops. Cause
yeah, that's awesome.
Red, white, and blue popsicles. It was so good. Yeah, I just remember.
How was that seminar that you guys did?
We didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No, we did not do it.
Oh, like
no.
Never mind.
That was canceled.
Oh, squeeze me.
That's okay. Yeah, if we did it, I would have opened with that, but we didn't do it.
Well, I digress.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Moving on. Well,
but anyway, it was fun weekend. Really fun.
Well, you mentioned 6-month anniversary for that couple. I have to bring this up. It is an anniversary today as we're recording.
Oh God, who cares?
If I do say so myself. I don't get why you're saying this, but 29 years ago today.
29 years ago.
Of course, courtesy of the history of ECW on Twitter, Superfan Francine gives CV Richards a kiss, and Beulah McGillicuddy starts a catfight. ECW Hardcore Heaven, 1995.
First of all, Superfan should be in quotations because I was a plant. Everyone was already with the company a year and a half before this happened. Thank you very much. But yes, it did happen, and it was it got to the point where all the fans were like, "Are you really Stevie's girlfriend?" And I'm like, "No." There he is. Look at that hair. Look how young I am. Oh, God.
29 years ago. So we're approaching the big 3-0. That bit 30, that's a big number. 30 is a big one. But, I mean, so much has happened 29 years. I mean, Hardcore Heaven, pretty big show. But
I was 23 years old there.
Wow.
Jeez Louise. How about that? Amazing.
Now, a slight little bit of tie-in to YouTube membership, if I may. We do have a full rundown of this debut on the YouTube membership.
Oh, do we?
Tier of the YouTube channel. So if you do want to hear Francine talk about it in its entirety, it is available on the YouTube membership tier. So that is a little cheap plug But it is the anniversary today, so I have to mention it because we are recording on that day. So big day in the history of the Queen of Extreme.
It's nice to know that I'm one of the relevant people. If you look on the side of the, it says relevant people.
Well, you're a relevant person in the conversation. That's
Pretty
why.
relevant. Yeah, that's nice to know. So thank you for that history of ECW. Go give them a follow. If you like anything ECW, History of ECW is a really good site to follow on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
29 years. What a ride, man. What a ride. Again, we were talking about it this weekend, and we keep telling ourselves how lucky we are to still be doing this and to be doing it together. I know I've mentioned it several times, but we're still in shock. We look at each other because we always say, did you think 30 years ago, as we were sitting in the arena as kids, did you think like so far ahead that we'd be on the road doing this, like Hack's 60 years old? Like, did you think? And he's like, absolutely not, and it's just mind blowing that we are still a group and still together doing this stuff. I mean, my God, who would have thunk it? So crazy. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about it. It's just, I never, like, when I was in ECW, I never looked to the future and thought conventions, indie show. Like, I never thought that kind of stuff. I was like here in the now, you know what I mean? And just the present was happening. I didn't think ahead of time. I didn't think what I was going to do. But now looking back, it's just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I still got my core group. Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah. And the four of you together, that group that you were just with, I mean, you go to, just say you go to meet the four of you, each one of you, like, except you and Shane, I guess, as a pair, but always a kind of intertwined in different stories. You know what I mean? Like with Fonzie is with Sabu and RVD and Taz, and they're not always intertwined with you and Shane or with Sandman, and Sandman's tied with Raven and not always tied with you and Shane. You know what I mean? So you can talk to each one of you guys at a meet and greet and get different stuff because not everybody was always working together. So it's just, it's cool because you guys are such a core group of that main event picture of ECW, but from different aspects. I don't know. It's just, it's cool to see you guys on the road together.
Yeah, it's great fun. And again, I'm so lucky because if I didn't have them, I don't think I'd be doing this. You know what I mean? Because you know how I am. I won't drive by myself. I don't like going places by myself. And nowadays, I'm usually with one of those guys or, one of the boys from somewhere. I have to have somebody that I know or Betty or else I won't go.
Right.
And it's not being a prima donna. It's just me being scared just to be alone on the road. Like, I don't like it, It's different for the guys. And that's another thing we were talking about because they'll take any booking that comes their way. But me, I'm very selective because if I'm by myself and I don't know the promoter, I'm not going. So I've been really, really lucky. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I just added another booking in Minnesota for August. And I'll be with Shane. So it's good stuff.
Very nice.
Yeah. I'm very, very lucky.
Mentioned it on our YouTube member chat when we did our live with our YouTube members.
I'm mentioning it here now, and I'll start advertising again. I think I put the graphic up on Twitter a couple weeks ago, but I'll be promoting it as it gets closer. But yeah, it's good stuff. Very, very blessed.
All these great ECW memories and these conversations, all thanks to one guy. This guy right here.
Is that a real picture or was his face doctored?
No, that is a real picture.
Why are his eyes bloodshot red?
So they're saying that Paul Heyman deliberately deprived himself of sleep to look more disheveled and add to the reality of the Bloodline story.
On a shoot.
On a shoot. This is what was being reported this past week.
When we worked together, when he was my boss, and I would go up to the studio on Mondays and I did it several times because either someone I was working with was hurt, usually Shane, and we would have to record promos with Joey Styles Tuesday morning before work, right? Before Joey went to his shoot job. or I was up there just to learn. I told you I was trying to learn the other end of the business. Paul never really slept that much. And I used to get on him, Paul, you're going to keel over. You're going to die. You need some sleep. And he'd be like, just give me 2-3 hours. I'm good. He used to run on adrenaline or coffee or whatever his thing was. He didn't sleep back then. So I didn't know if they put like drops in his eyes with like a little red dye or not. No offense, but he looks awful. This is awful.
It's been a great lead up because it's been heavily teased that, you know, he's going to break up with this new bloodline group. But how are they going to do it? You know, how was it going to happen? And they were at Madison Square Garden this past Friday night. And, you know, they did come to a head. I'll play it for you in a second. But, you know, the paranoia settling in every week of when is it going to happen is what they played into, is that he had to acknowledge Solo as the new tribal chief, and he couldn't sleep. He was, you know, paranoid that it was going to happen at any time. So this is what we got, was this Paul Heyman. You know, he's ready to cry. He's ready to
wait a minute before you play it. Is it because he feels like he's turning his back on Roman Reigns, who isn't there?
He doesn't feel right that this is all going on without Roman there.
That's what I just said. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my point I'm trying to make. So the new bloodline, are they a bunch of heel? Is it a heel stable still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So here, I'm going to play this for you right here.
Okay.
So this is the first part. I'm going to play 2 parts for you. So this is part 1.
I love you. And I acknowledge that you are not my brother.
Look at Paul turning baby face. What?
Oh my God! Samoan spike to the wise man.
Oh my God!
It takes the bump, but that wasn't it. They all hit him with their finishes.
We talk about that bump. Did you see that bump?
That was not the only one. He took about I think 3 more in the ring.
Did he go through a table?
Oh, he did. That's what I'm going to pull up next.
Has he gained a bit of weight? Just a little bit. Okay.
A little bit.
I you know, I hope he's healthy. I really hope he's healthy. Oh.
Hold on, I gotta pull it up on this side.
Look, it had to take 8 people to pick him.
They brought in the crane. Beep, beep. All right, bring it here, boys.
Stop that. No, it just looks like there's 3 people picking him up.
No.
Oh, there we go. His face. Oh, that was a bad landing.
Yeah, that was a little stiff. Look at that. Ready?
Look at his face. Oh, Paul. Good Lord. Ugh.
Yeah, so he, he's getting physical.
Okay.
Is that the last straw for Roman to come back in storyline? Is that it? You know, now you have Jacob Fatu, who was the big free agent signing for the Bloodline. So, you know, is this it? And I think that you're positioning Roman now as a huge baby face. And there was even talk of, is this a time now you bring back Brock Lesnar? Could this be a time for Brock? What do you think? You think Brock? You think Brock could? No, I mean they put him back on the alumni page.
So he's not under contract?
I not 100%. I can't confirm that, but he was on the alumni page, or he was in. They had removed him when all the Vince stuff broke, but then they put him back. And I just read something about his daughter. His daughter's college wrestler. She looks exactly like him. So his name's circulating again. So what if Brock was to come back now?
Yeah. Or is Paul sacrificing his body in order to make us think he's not with them? But then when Roman comes back, they all turn on him. That could be a possibility. Did you ever see that?
It's pretty interesting. But
be the sacrificial lamb to make everybody think you turn, and then boom. I don't know.
Pretty interesting, for Paul to get physical. So even let's go back to ECW. I mean, if he was to interject himself in an angle, always going to be a big deal. We've talked about the Sabu angle where Sabu, no-showed, and then they brought it to TV and turned it into something. But outside of when he was like an active manager on TV, he really didn't interject himself physically into anything.
I remember, oh God, when we were on the stage up top and we were looking down, who was in the ring? Shoot, we did some kind of an angle at the arena and we were all up. Triple Threat was up on the thing and they made me jump on Paul to keep him away from the Triple Threat. And me and him were like going at it. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah, they showed it on television, but I can't remember if it was Taz or Dream or somebody in the ring, and they were like, "Oh, Joey's like, oh, look at the Triple Threat," and then like Paul came out and was screaming at Shane and Bammer and Chris and stuff, and then I get in Paul's face and I literally jump on Paul to keep him away, and then everybody starts brawling. It was like, it was ridiculous. Awesome. Yeah, I don't remember. It's out there. I know somebody listening remembers.
Somebody, please, if you're listening, share that because I don't know why I'm knocked on that when I'm not remembering that. But please share that.
I remember jumping.
You remember it.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I was beating Paul up. But that's the one time I remember the interaction with him. But then, like, he did stuff with Louis Dangerously when Lou was pretending he was Paul. When Lou would come out with the phone and they did stuff. Paul was always on camera, he always had a presence. And like I said, even though he wasn't a physical talent, he was still part of the roster. Like, I guess you could call him a talent. Physically, I don't, he wasn't managing or anything, but he was the owner of the company and he made his presence known. Just seeing him like that, I don't mean to make fun of him or anything. It just worries me because that picture, he looks absolutely terrible. And maybe, well, he's supposed to because he's worried and all that stuff. But if he's real, like they say, actors do things like, to make the role believable. Yeah, that scares me because how much longer is he going to sacrifice his body for this role? You know what I mean? Like, think of your health. I just hope he's healthy. That's all. Paul, if you're listening or if you have Stooges listening, I just hope you're healthy. That's all I have to say.
Yes, I did not mean forklift joke. That was just a cheap joke.
What was you?
My forklift joke.
Yeah, that was terrible. And when I said 8 people, there were so many people lifting them up. Like there's like 4 people standing there. That's why I said that.
And oh my God, speaking of Paul Heyman, though, do you remember I said there was a quote that came out of one of my podcasts years ago that caused him to have a Twitter meltdown? Remember me talking about this?
Vaguely,
it was C.W. Anderson that had said something on my podcast that had led him to have a meltdown. And I found the article about it. And I just couldn't remember who said something.
What was said?
I'll have to go back and read that. I didn't commit that to memory. But I wanted to know who said it, and it was CW.
But it wasn't during my podcast. It was you guys.
No. It was years. It had to be 2016, 2017.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God, it was incredible. I could not believe it when I got the text that said Paul Heyman is having a meltdown tweeting about the show. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it's crazy. And of CW of all people.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, that's I don't know. That's weird.
What do you think of this? Somebody is saying this on X. Paul Heyman is the greatest wrestling manager / non-wrestler character ever.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's up there.
But they're saying the greatest. My choice is the guy in the right-hand corner.
Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan, without a doubt.
See, I haven't watched any of Paul's stuff. I haven't watched any of it. the only time I just saw what you showed me. I have not been following the bloodline. I tell you this a million times. I don't know what the story is. I know Roman Reigns left again. I don't know if he left because he's sick. He needed time off. I don't know what his deal is. But I haven't seen anything about Paul. I've heard he's been doing a hell of a job from everybody.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. That's what I've heard, but I haven't really sat down and watched any of it. But now, if I've seen him work before, his stuff from years ago, and watching him in ECW, so I know he's talented, 100%. But I have not seen his bloodline character, so I'm sure if I see it, I will be blown away, and I will think it's tremendous. Just looking at this picture, I'm just like,
yeah, he's crying in the one on the right.
I know. He just doesn't look healthy to me, and that scares me. That's all I'm saying. I hope he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he has gained a considerable amount of weight over the years, and watching the clips, if you see it, but. I mean, it's just guy's living a good life.
I hope so. I hope. Listen, I don't make fun of people. Weight, whatever. I just look at him. I was looking at him mainly with the red eyes, and I was just like, "Whoa, it doesn't look good." But he's not supposed to look good. He's supposed to look disheveled and worried. And I understand it. I get why he's doing it. I just hope he's okay. That's all I'm saying. I hope he's okay.
So who's your pick? Greatest non-wrestler? Give me a name. Like I said, I'm going Bobby Heenan. I've been watching a lot of older stuff lately. He is just on another level with that quick wit, and he can move from one thing to the next. And you never. It's funny to find out how much he did off screen too during that run.
Yeah, I couldn't give you a name. I'd have to think about it. I don't know. I don't know.
You also have to disqualify yourself.
Right. I can't say me. Darn.
Can't say yourself.
I don't know. I mean, Paul's been kicking ass, and look what he did with ECW. He might be the choice. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of talented men and women in this sport, A lot of people who deserve recognition maybe don't get their due diligence, but we won't go into
that. That's for damn sure.
Anywho,
how about the response to the Wyatt Sicks week 2? So we talked about it for week 1.
Yeah,
we said the follow up is what we would need to see, and the follow up was kind of something I think they needed to do in the lead up to week 1. And that was the kind of dissociation of the Bo Dallas Uncle Howdy character, where the Uncle Howdy got into the mind of Bo Dallas and told us why Uncle Howdy's here.
I didn't see it. 2. Yeah, I didn't see it. I had a very busy lead up to my departure to Indiana. So I didn't see that. What did you think? I mean,
it should have been done beforehand. It was before we should have seen all these prepos.
Add it to what we did see. Is it making you like it a little more than you did before?
No, not really. For me, again, not really, because I wasn't. I told you after week 1, I'm out. If this was something I had gotten into before, if it was something they gave me a little bit before, and this is something that Uncle Howdy was around with when Bray was alive, and we knew we just maybe thought it was his uncle. We didn't know it was his brother. We knew it was his brother, but we didn't know it was his brother. But now they're literally telling you this is Bo Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
This is him. So maybe they should have given us a little bit more of that context before we saw the group and give us the reasons why the rabbit guy is here, and then the buzzard guy, and then the girl. And it said, again, too much too soon.
I feel like if they would have did that segment first and then came out with what they did, you would have still you would have still said too many people didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this would have made a difference going first because they still would have introduced all 5. You know what I mean? You still would have thought it was rushed, whether this segment came first or second. And that's the truth. So
probably. I mean, yeah, you could be right.
Yeah. I know I'm right. 100% I'm right.
You're usually right.
I know, because I know how you think. And the explanation you gave last week was you didn't like it because, it was rushed. We both said, like, maybe introduce one every week, not even starting with Bo Dallas. We went over this, but you didn't like, all the carnage. And now what are they going to do to top that kind of deal? So I don't think doing this early would have made a difference in your mind.
Maybe slightly, maybe a little bit.
Okay. Well, I still am wondering what happens when they start to wrestle. They can't wrestle in the dark with just the people aiming their phones at them. So that, the house lights have to come up. And I don't think they can wrestle with all that, the costumes on. So when they take off the headpieces, are they going to have makeup, or is it just going to be, hey, it's Bo Dallas. How you doing?
Yeah.
Bo leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe we should Bo leave.
Yeah, like if the guys are at ringside, if one guy is wrestling and they have the family outside, they're all going to be in their garb. That. So whoever is working needs something on their face to cover the human and portray the character.
Right.
They're not going to wrestle with those big masks on. So that's something that needs to be seen to make me say to myself, okay, this is really continuing what they're trying to do. Because God, if they can't just take off the mask and let it be him, like his clean shaved face or whatever, nothing, no makeup, no nothing. They can't do that. Unless they're doing a Sybil character. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't know, is his name still Bo Dallas or is he going by Return? No, like, what is he doing?
I think he's going Bo Dallas.
Okay, so yeah, like I'm Bo Dallas, but then he like freaks out and he grabs the mask and he puts it back on. No, I'm Uncle Howdy. No, I'm Bo Dallas. Like if they did a kind of Sybil thing where he doesn't know what he is.
Right.
And then he loses his mind because he's, got multiple personalities. I mean, I'm thinking outside the box here. Maybe they can go that route because then he can wrestle with nothing on his face. But are they going for that? You know what I mean? Like if they're introducing him as his brother, is there another side to the story? Did you ever think of that?
Did not. And I'm curious to see how Triple H books a supernatural character versus Vince, where Vince could tend to get a little over the top goofy with it. I wonder if Triple H has been watching his, Insidious and, Drag Me to Hell and all these modern horror movies,
Yeah. It's just you just telling me that they introduced it as we know it's Bo Dallas. That makes me think, is he going to be fighting with himself over this character? You know what I mean? Is he trying to resist the urge to be Uncle Howdy? Is he fighting, not being himself? He's Bo Dallas or however they represent him.
Imagine it. I mean, like if they could have gone with it being the characters that Bray created are still in his head and he brought them to life or something like that. But we should have waited 5 separate weeks to see all of them instead of throwing them all at the screen at once and having them live in the arena, killing people with mallets and shooting them in the head, even though they said it wasn't shot in the head. Oh, but then they added a storyline too. Hold on. They actually, so remember I said Pat McAfee, they went on he missed Raw last week and they delivered, Nikki Cross was back on. She delivered the tape of the Bo Dallas Uncle Howdy thing to Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee was missing in storyline. Presumably,
did she come out as the crazy sister Abigail? Okay, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
well, at least her character's remaining, consistent.
Yeah, so it's weird.
But
I don't know.
if they're presenting, if did they show Bo Dallas without the gear on?
Yes.
Okay, so
100
yes,
yeah.
so then that makes me think, like, is this going to be a character that he's going to be fighting? Like, is he fighting demons to prevent him from? It's kind of like a drug. Like, you don't want to be a drug addict, so you're trying to fight the urge. Is he fighting the urge to be Uncle Howdy? Like, think of it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe. Sometimes I think, like, crazy things, like, because it's wrestling, right? And you just think outside the box. Maybe that's what they're going for.
Perhaps.
And again, I didn't even see it. That just popped in my mind. So I don't know. I'm either really stupid or I'm really creative. One or the other.
I'll go with the latter.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
I would have said the former then if I said stupid. No, I'll go with the latter.
I don't know. It makes sense if you think about it, but would they think that way? Don't know. But interesting nonetheless to see where it goes. Again, I know I said I was telling everybody on our YouTube channel, I was like, can't wait to see where this goes. And then I didn't even follow up because I was so busy. I was like, oh, darn it. But, I'll go back and I'll watch and see how they went about it. But it still has people buzzing about it. People are still talking about it.
Oh, yeah. No, they made an impact. That's for damn sure.
Sure did. Well, anything else we got?
No, that's about all I got.
That's all you got. All right. Well, some weeks are full of interesting things, and other weeks are not so much. So we do our best with what we got, and that's what we got.
Have you seen the Mets taking on Grimace as a spokesperson and mascot? From
McDonald's?
Yeah.
No. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
So Grimace threw out the first pitch at Citi Field, maybe a month ago or something, beginning of June. After that, they went on this incredible winning streak. They went
now,
like 10-2. So now Grimace is like the poster child for the Mets resurgence.
So what happens when they lose? Are they going to kick them to the curb?
So far, I mean, they lost 2 in a row now, but they're back in it, which is, great. But it was funny during a rain delay the other night. There was a guy dressed up as Grimace, and he was doing like the Steve Austin chugging beers.
Right.
And the guy shared the video. He's like, like, file this under things I'd never seen. Grimace pounding beers during a rain delay. Grimace just doing the Steve Austin with the beers. It was great. Oh, yeah, Grimace is new Mets mascot right now.
There you go. Well, what about the old mascot? Where's he at?
He's still floating around, but Grimace over Philly Fanatic. Come on,
get out of here. Never.
Grimace. Everybody loves Grimace.
You just don't like anything Phillies. That's you.
That's very true. But come on, how do you not love Grimace from McDonald's?
I hate McDonald's. It's garbage.
It is garbage, but it's Grimace.
It's garbage.
Oh, I wish I could find this Grimace pounding the beer. It's great.
I'm sure it's wonderful. Do you have anything to plug?
Just continue to plug our YouTube.
Wait, before you start, are you doing? Wait a minute, time out. Are you doing anything ever again with William Shatner?
At the moment, no.
If you do, I need an autograph for my son. Because
if you had told me this in April, I would have gotten it.
I know it. And I said it today when we were driving in the car from the amusement park. I was like, you guys are watching Star Trek? And I said, damn it, I should have got him an autograph from William Shatner. So if you do ever again, we need to get that.
100% would have gotten you whatever you wanted.
Yeah, even though his room is all Star Wars. Because I said, do you like Star Wars better or Star Trek? He's like, Star Wars for sure. But they're watching Star Trek. And I was just like, oh man, I had a missed opportunity for sure.
I would have gotten you whatever you wanted. Carte blanche.
Anyway, go ahead with the plugs. I'm so pissed.
Just head on over to the YouTube channel. Check out what we got, both on the subscriber tier. If you're not subscribed, that's free. Just click the button, ring the bell, get the notifications. You'll know every time we throw something up, every single time it's posted. But if you want to go even a little bit further, grab the membership tier. You get exclusive content. You get this iHeartRadio episode in full video form, as well as exclusive content from past episodes in our archive. Exclusive content recorded just for YouTube, there will be more of that coming very soon. So support us and go to YouTube. Memberships and subscribing, and at Chad ENB on Twitter.
Sorry, I think I want to do a live for everyone soon.
Yes,
we just did the live for the members only, and now I think the community wants me to go live for everyone. So probably within the next week or two, I think we should do a live.
And and that's another perk of being a member. That was a cool little gathering with members of the YouTube membership community. They got to ask questions directly to Francine, and it was basically like having a podcast episode just for the members. So it was very cool.
Yeah, it was cool, but I think we owe it to the community too.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, so probably within the next week or two, we're going to check our schedules and we'll start promoting it on socials. I have an appearance coming up July 13th and 14th. It's in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It's 90s Wrestling Con. And I want to say it's at Caesars Pier on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. All the information is on my socials, so you can go to either X or IG. And I'm sure you can look up 90s Wrestling Con on Facebook. But that's the next appearance I have. So the July 13th and 14th, come on out and see me. I'd love to chat with you there. And again, the YouTube channel, become a member or a channel member. And, hopefully we'll do a live soon. So I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy. And most of all, I hope you're staying extreme.